Yo, 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 yo. How are you doing? So I'm gonna be honest with you. I was sitting around thinking about like what I should kind of stream here, and I realized something, and it was that these live streams are, I think, really important for a couple reasons. But I think the biggest thing that I could do in a lot of these live streams is to just kind of like I mean, inside baseball, does not do a very good job of like promoting the live streams afterwards, obviously, because like they're not really like one specific idea. There's a lot of other stuff. So that aside, anybody that stops by during or even catches it after, I appreciate you. And I think that one thing that I could do a little bit better is if I'm going to continue to live stream with some sort of regularity, it's got to be kind of like a little bit of an open like chat kind of thing, which I mean, it has been in the past, but I just thought more specifically, like, I don't want to be talking about like random stuff that's necessarily going on specifically just with me, like I have in the last couple. Um, I do want to show you the things that I'm doing because I think it'll spark some ideas and questions in your mind. But that's kind of what I want to do today. Is this is kind of a trial run for I think how a lot of the rest of these should go. If I'm going to continue to live stream, it should kind of be basically like this is the premise, and if you agree with it, you let me know. If you don't, then we can maybe adapt. But I think this is the state of the world. There's a lot of people out there that have businesses or they just have lives and they want to make their situation easier, better, whatever. And they're like being constantly inundated with this idea of like AI this, AI that, automation this, automation that, whatever. But a lot of them probably don't know how to handle it or don't know where to start or don't know what to do. Some of those people might want to tinker for themselves. Some of those people probably don't care about that. They're busy and they just want other people to do it. I'm fortunately in a position where I can teach as well as build and implement for people. So if you're interested in any of that, obviously there's links in the description. But the concept is that I need to do a better job on these streams of just kind of like putting the stuff out there and just saying like, hey, these are some of the things that I'm doing. I mean, I am doing that with videos with the raw streams and everything like that, where I just show you exactly like how I build stuff, and you can learn a lot from that. But I think specifically in this case, what I'd like to do moving forward is kind of just a little bit of a recap of what I'm building, but ultimately be like give you ideas, and then in turn you can ask questions, and I can kind of start to steer you in the right direction or give you my thoughts on it. So it's not like a huge deviation from what's already happened. It's just that I've always treated my live streams as almost like a recap of whatever's in at the top of my mind, which is fine. But I don't know, just something I was thinking about today when I couldn't really think of a huge specific topic, which because I'm doing stuff so much, I don't know how you feel about this, but I just feel like time is actually moving. It's moving fast, but there's so much crammed in that it actually feels like it's for the first time in a while, like these last, 6 so months, like I feel like I'm actually doing a lot and getting a lot done. Obviously with the help of AI enhancements and everything. So that's kind of where I'm at. Just wanted to set the scene on that if you're watching live or on the replay. If you're watching on the replay, drop some comments. If you are here live, obviously, chat away and we can kind of talk about some stuff. We got one here. What's up? What's up? Hey, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. IMS of Design. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah. So I'm just going to dive into it. I'm going to kind of talk a little bit. I would like to show a lot of things actually, because I got some things that I haven't shown yet. And maybe we can show some demos and things. But if anybody has any questions, like as we go, that's the concept is if you're thinking about this stuff, if you're overwhelmed, which probably everyone is, because I think the biggest objection or the biggest like thought I get right now is that everyone is like thinking that everything is just moving too quickly, then and like they can't keep up. Like I understand that, and I try to be some voice of reason of that, or just help in that endeavor over in Modern Builder Society, and then just on YouTube in general. But yeah, I mean, I think the easiest thing to do is kind of just tell you some of the, as usual, tell you some of the things that I've been working on recently. Because as a content creator, candidly, I feel like I talk about the same shit all the time, but ultimately I am doing a lot of different things like all the time. So I think it's good to kind of like bring it up and talk about everything that that's going on, because sometimes people aren't there to talk about it. The last thing I'm gonna preface, and then I'll show some stuff is I don't know if it goes said and it goes I don't know if it goes without saying, but some of the things that I'm working on right now are specifically for me. Some of them are for clients or whatever. I really encourage you to look at what I'm doing get rid of like I'm about to show you my website, right? Don't I'm not trying to show you my website. Like, yeah, okay, great, that's cool. But like think of it for yourself. Think of it for your own business, whether you're a web designer, you're an AI strategist. I mean, fuck, it doesn't matter. Like the concepts are what I'm trying to teach here. And I think it's difficult because when you see it in one light, you're like, how could that apply to me? But just do your best. And if you have any questions, I will answer them on the stream. So that's just wanted to say that as well. What's up, Philip? How we doing? How we doing? And let's dive into this. All right, so let me put my face over here. That looks good. Okay, my website, talked about it before, 8-hour live stream. It's on the channel, all that sort of shit. Not the point of this. Point of this is that I, first want to start off here kind of in the meta. One of the things that I have done traditionally atrociously bad is I've gathered some testimonials. I probably have about like almost 20 or so, like with Google and all this other stuff. But if you're a business owner, obviously reviews are paramount. I could tell a story about like a real estate agent I was on the phone with yesterday, and ton of sales, like multiple hundreds of sales, only like 10 reviews on like the main platform. All the rest are elsewhere. I mean, social proof is incredibly important. Okay. So I'm just going to show you exactly what I'm doing, and you can glean some of this stuff from this. And I'll tell you a little bit of how obviously AI is going in here, but it's like AI and marketing. I just feel like they're literally so interconnected, and that's what I'm dealing with every day. So maybe you get some value out of this. All right. So the first thing is social proof specifically. Okay. I have this praise page, which I is one of my favorite pages I've ever put together, not just because of, obviously people say nice things about me, but there's like little nuances in here that regardless of whether you know how to do this or not, like you might just look at this, Marcus is just fucking whatever. But the thing is, like, this is powered by a couple different things. First of all, this is powered by Senja. So Senja is a review platform that I do have an affiliate link for if you want to grab it. It's in the tools page over here. But Senja is really great. This is my tools page over here. I don't just want to talk about my website the whole time. I feel bad. I want to try to move as fast as possible through this. But Senja right here, I'll give you the link if you're interested. Okay. If you haven't heard of Senja, it's pretty great. But Senja is a review platform. You can like import testimonials from a bunch of different places. You can do video testimonials. They host the whole thing. So the decision that I made was this is going to be like my home base, my database for all my social proof, because then I can use it in multiple different places. And the beautiful part about it is they don't force you to use the stupid widgets that they have. They have nice widgets, but you don't need to do that. And you definitely don't need to do that if you're somebody like me that's going to be, essentially AI coding all these different things, because like they expose everything through the API, which is fantastic. Because I needed to tell you all that because all of these are custom components like in Astro and everything. Depending on where you're at, maybe you know what I'm talking about, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. It's hard to speak to multiple different audiences, again, candidly, as a creator like this. But the point is that you need to have social proof. Senja is a great place to store all your stuff because then you can use it in multiple different places. It's like one central source of truth. That's what I'm using right now. A couple other things that I want to show, because my brain is constantly thinking about like connections and like the network between everything. So it's like, okay, somebody looks at the praise page, right? Maybe they're not looking at the praise page, but I could use these elsewhere, right? But they're looking at this and it's like, okay, so they see a couple reviews, and this is really what I want to talk about, but I'll talk about these parts first. These are like comments from YouTube that I was able to just put in the YouTube link over in Senja and like grab a couple comments and bring them in. But the thing is, with just this, you're not going to know anything about this. So I prompted, and you could see all this in the videos. In that live stream, it's like an 8-hour live stream on my channel where I'm talking about all this. But the thing is, like, I was like, well, you're not going to know anything about this. So let me put like kind of like an extra piece in here, like a little extra piece of this component when it's a YouTube video. So on the back end of Senja, I say like it's a YouTube video, and I say it's a like what the video is. And then I grab that field when we pull all of that in, and I say, okay, that's the video. So just like grab the video title and the thumbnail from that. And then so it's all like more of a cohesive experience. It's not just a bunch of random ass like praise on here. It's like, I mean, obviously you could say that maybe you shouldn't put that on your thing, but like I think like anything positive, like it's an interesting position that I'm in, and maybe you're in, because like if somebody says something good about you, you need to know like where, it came from, so to speak. So that's that. Now, a more specific example for you, perhaps more likely, is something like this. Recently this week, one of my big endeavors was I'll tell you about my Motive 11 thing that I put a video out on, but this other idea of social proof, right? So social proof is great, like in a testimonial format, which this is like a testimonial from my client here. And I'll give you all the pro tips. The first thing is, I tweeted this the other day, is what you should do is you should monitor the engagement. Let's say you sign somebody today to some sort of engagement, right? You should monitor the engagement and know what you did and everything like that. And then at the end of the engagement, when everything's done and they're happy, don't just ask them for a review. Think back at all the things, write them all down, give that context to AI, and then say, hey, if you have any conversations with them or whatever, like see if you can be like, this is literally what I did for these last couple testimonials is I gave AI a ton of context for what I was doing, and then for what happened in the engagement, and then I gave them all of the the context for that we had, like if we're recording any calls or anything like that, and I said, "Listen, take this context that I'm giving you and take their voice and write something that's close to their voice, right? That's not as important because, they're a client or whatever, but like write a testimonial given all that stuff. And the reason you're doing that is because your client doesn't know, like if you ask your client to do a review, one, they're busy, okay? Two, they don't know what you actually want your future customers to know about the service. And three, they don't even know everything you did. So they're happy, that's great, but they don't know anything about it. I'm not saying, I'm also not saying make fake testimonials. What I'm saying is create the testimonial as kind of like a starting block for them, then send it to them. So literally, again, I put all that context in. I created something like this. I sent it to my client. I said, hey, listen, would love a testimonial. Here's something that I whipped up just based off of our engagement. Happy to tweak, whatever if you need to. Most of the time, they're just going to say that's good because you're not going to say anything absolutely fucking ridiculous. So then they're going to say yes, and then you send them 2 links, whatever you want, maybe 1, 2 links depending on where you want to put it or whatever, to like Google. Send them your Google business profile link, and then just tell them to paste it in there. Boom, done. Right. So you can be. I got one objection on LinkedIn about that. I was like, how are you ever going to know what they actually feel like if they don't actually write their own testimonial? Kind of a really weak objection. I mean, like I understand what you're saying, but ultimately you knew what happened. It's not like you're sending this thing to a client that didn't have a good experience, right? It's not like they fired you and you're like, hey, give me a testimonial. And like it totally just, it doesn't, a good method of this is like they read this and like, oh shit, that is exactly what happened. Oh, I didn't even realize he did some of that stuff. That's amazing, or whatever, right? So that's just a tip for you. Anyway, down a rabbit hole there with some of that, but that's a pro tip. The thing that I wanted to talk about specifically is kind of some of the ways that I used AI to help me with that. So obviously that was a huge way of doing that with that. But the other thing that I was telling you I've been bad at is I haven't had any really good case studies or success stories. And I really think now that I've dug into it more than I ever have, I think it's really important for you to consider for your business or just anything that you're doing. So this is another example. Testimonial is great. Cool, whatever. But like an actual story, and this resonated with me after I like kind of like, massaged this idea a little bit. I have this whole thing now. And again, it's the same concept as the YouTube video. It's like, okay, you read this and it's like, oh, that's great, right? So imagine somebody reading this, regardless if it's on this page or not. They read this like, oh, that's really nice. But what about the full story? Like, what about like, oh, there's a full story. Well, let me click on that. So then they come over here and they can see the whole case study. Now, I'm not saying I pioneered the idea of a case study, okay? But I definitely think that I changed a little bit about how I perceive this, okay? So I'm getting a random call from Maryland. But anyway, the way that I perceive these is I first had this written as case study. Okay. And then I was like, it's kind of like weird. I don't really like that idea. What I'd much rather think of is like, we have a testimonial from this person that kind of tells their side of the story. The success story should actually be your side of the story. It should be my side of the story. It should be what we did from them completely in full. It should be examples and all this other stuff and like the behind the scenes almost, right? Now, I think that some people do this and some people don't really do it. I honestly got to the point where it's almost like a blog post. It's almost like just like recounting everything and explaining everything. So again, I'm telling you what I did, but I'm also telling you how I did it with AI. So the way that I did this was, there's so much shit. Did I film any of this stuff? I don't know. If I did film it, I'll post it at some point. I probably should have filmed this because this was a crazy process, but this was the first time I did it. So I was like kind of putting some of it together still like in time. But here's the deal. So obviously this whole website, like I don't know if we're all on the same page here. I'm not dragging and dropping anything or touching anything. I'm completely doing this through AI. But what I was doing here was, what I was doing with this was there's so many little things. It's so easy, and I just have to, I guess, have to keep saying it for the rest of my life. The way that I handled this project was done, months ago, right? Like it was, launched in like September 2025, right? So I didn't have this. This did not exist like a week ago. What I did was I went back to any information that I had, any sort of like, you know, um, any sort of conversations or anything like that. I gathered that context. I went on my phone and I did a voice recording for, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes about everything that I could remember from the back and forth and everything, and the whole engagement. And I also used some other tools. I prompted Claude Code to say like, hey, go to the website and do a couple things. Like go to the old website. It actually could find, in this case, it actually found the website. It was kind of a bad website before, but it actually found this through the Wayback Machine and took this screenshot. Okay. You got to understand, like, there's some core principles. Like, don't do anything manually. Just ask like Claude Code if it can do it. And then from there, obviously, like, understand what it's doing and how it's doing it so you can ask it directly the next time. But ultimately, so many things that I've been able to do now and learn how they work is from, hey, can you do this? Like, here's what I'm trying to do, right? So in this specific instance, right? Here's what I need you to do. I want to create this case study for this company. You don't have access to this. This website was actually built in WordPress and Bricks. So like, I imagine I'm in this, I'm in something like this, right? I'm in the code base for my website, my larger Mark Szymanski website, and I'm saying, hey, go scrape this website, this law firm website in general. Go scrape it. I'm giving you the domain. Go scrape it. There's tools to do this. Like literally, you can download an entire website with something called HTTrack. You don't really even need to understand how this works. Okay, like it's helpful to understand like what the tools are and what they're doing. But that's like basically a library and like I don't know if it's necessarily a CLI, but it's a tool that I did research on via Claude, and I was like, what can we do to like scrape an entire website? Because a lot of times you'll go to a website now and you'll try web fetch with this AI tooling, and it'll be like you can't get it. Like it's blocked by like robots.txt or whatever, right? So the point is that a lot of times what I've been able to do is I've been able to take the old thing. I think I filmed a video on this concept. I need to upload still. I'm just filming so much shit. You can take an old website and you pull it down, you pull everything down, and then you go to the next, and you're trying to build the next thing, right? With all of that information. And the whole point I'm trying to make is just gather as much context as possible, however you can think to do that, and try to make it automated as much as possible, so you don't have to physically grab it all. And you can tell it to move shit around. You can tell it to move it all into like one directory and download everything there. And then you can come back and be like, okay, listen, I got you all this context now. You have my side of the story. You have the old website. You have the new website. You understand the branding. Ask me any questions to fill in any of the gaps. But then ultimately, create something like this. And it takes a little bit of thought on your end to be like, okay, what's the easiest way to do some of this stuff? Because you don't want to, you still want to have like good like architecture and stuff like that, because like, you don't really want to have like multiple, instances of this. Like a small example is like, because I have all of my stuff in Senja, like I didn't want to like have to change stuff here and then have to change stuff over in another place, right? So thing I'm always thinking about, because I've done this for a while, but now I'm doing it with AI, is like, listen, AI, do not put like a field in in our website called like name. I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is when you get this information, I want you to, in order to get this, I want you to connect to the appropriate Senja testimonial and pull it in there. So for instance, if I went into Senja right now and I changed his headshot, it would change in that testimonial thing and it would change here. You're not like, I can't teach you that though. Like I could teach you that, but I'm saying like, I can't teach you to think like that. Like that's something that just keeps coming with over time. And those are the things where, people say vibe coding and then they say AI assisted coding. They say all this other shit. That is not vibe coding. Like if you're thinking about that shit, you're not vibe coding. Like, yeah, maybe you don't know all the syntax, but you're definitely not fucking straight up vibe coding stuff if you care about those types of details. And you should, because you should care a little bit about what's going on under the hood, even if you're not writing every single line of code. So that would be that's typically my stance. But again, trying to just kind of express and illustrate some of these things. But again, from your perspective, from more of a marketing side of things, this is more of like, again, I feel like it's like a blog post and a story. This is like my side of like kind of what happened, what was broken, right? What we built. Again, not pioneering anything super crazy here with like a case study, but I do think that this type of thing could go a long way if people actually care and read this type of thing, because it's like actual real, obviously, and then the testimonial and all that sort of stuff. Just some other random like marketing things that I kind of like put together and worked on this week is like, I think this is really important as well, especially nowadays, is like, okay, so you have all this, and it's like, okay, somebody would be reading this, potentially want to work with you. And then this page is something that's brand new now too. And it's how I work. So like I build with AI, my expertise is the product. And then I just went through and again, like I kind of outlined exactly my methodology, my like manifesto type thing. And I said it's going to shift over time, but this is where it is right now. And I kind of go through and I express, everything here. So, I'm not saying everyone is going to read all this shit all the time, but the idea is if you don't have this out there, and if you don't have if you don't have some level of explanation of who you are, what you do, and how you're thinking right now, it's going to be kind of weird depending on what you're trying to do. So, Keshev, what's up? What's up? How we doing? Good to see you. But yeah, so that's that. Other than that, I mean, I did do, some other success stories and stuff like that. We don't have to go through all these, but the point is like all this, again, this whole website is, you using Claude Code and everything. Even things like, I don't know how to say it, 'cause like, again, I'm using it to assist my workflow, not just build everything for me, but like even this, like this, like, even the things switch, the logo switch, because I carefully crafted it to do that. When it goes to light and dark. I mean, just stuff that would have taken me like literally weeks, and I'm doing them in like, hours to days now. So that's all that. But again, I don't just want to talk about my website. I will talk one other thing about a website that I have, which is Motive 11, but there's a whole video on this that I just released. So I just want to kind of express something to you. I have had a very hard time in the past because I've always like tried to say like we, even though I didn't have like a bunch of like a big agency or anything. And I think that if you're trying to do stuff with AI for other people, you should really be honest with yourself and consider like where you're at. So I pretty much moved all of my marketing to this website over the past couple weeks. And it's like, you work with me, and I still got to clean this up a little bit, but like you work with me and it's like, you're just working with me. Like, that's just how it is. Right. I do have, and I've always had this agency over here called, was called Find a Tech. Now it's called Motive 11. If you saw this website a few days ago, weeks ago, whatever, it was definitely different than this. This is a crazy experience that I just did. Literally, there's an hour and 45-minute video where I did exactly this, and I show you the old website and I get it to this. I'm not touching anything. It's literally just like it's an experience where you just kind of go through all of this. And and I've never seen something like this before, and I thought it was kind of like cool to just be like, okay, you go to this site and there's just like information there's like a little brief story about like why there's nothing on this site effectively, and it tells everybody to go towards my main site, because this is still like an entity that exists, and then I have email to this and all this other stuff. But I don't know, this resonated with me a lot more, just something simple where I was like, I didn't just want like, it to redirect or anything like that. I really wanted to express like what was going on. Like, this is, this is the entity, but really ultimately you're working with me. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat it anymore. I'm not gonna say we, I'm not gonna say whatever. I'm just gonna say I. And I feel better doing that like on my thing. So if you click here, it just goes like to the work with me page or whatever. And yeah, so that's another thing. My whole point there is, again, I used AI to like do all that sort of stuff. There's Three.js in the background of that. And it just kind of spins through. It has like, the little progress bar thing at the top there, all that. But the point is that this is another marketing angle on the AI stuff, is like I would encourage my past self to be more specific on like what I'm actually saying and doing and who I actually am, so to speak, right? So so yeah, that's something that I was working on there. And I don't know why it looks so shitty on. It's because there's a shadow here. Kind of looks more like this. I gotta fix the shadow algorithm on the plugin that I'm using in OBS does some weird shit to the stuff that's in front of it. So that's unfortunate. This even has a pause button. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Got a question here. Mark, do you suggest new clients to move to Astro if they ask for WordPress builds so AI can be used in a better way on the build? Okay, so great question. And I'll give you my honest answer. Okay. Maybe more context than you bargained for, but that's normally always what I do. Let me maybe I should show you some like actual examples. This is a real client site that I just finished. If it loads, that'll be upsetting if it doesn't load. Yikes. I think it's weirdly cached on this browser for some reason. Yeah, okay. All right, so this is a real client site that I just finished completely with Claude Code and Astro. All right. So I built with WordPress since 2018. I built with Elementor and Bricks and all that. I have a little bit of like development experience and like I was always trying to get better at that. So I'm not going to tell you to just move over to Astro and just deal with AI. I think that the realization that you have to have is that there are some things that you're going to have to learn. I think you should probably build your own sites first. I built the initial Motive 11 website with Google AI Studio. Would not recommend that that much, but not for that, just because it's very limited. But Claude Code and Codex and Gemini, like the CLI, like I would highly recommend like trying to do some more of that because you have way more freedom and it's actually like an agent rather than just like platform. I am just enjoying this experience like incredibly, but I can't speak for everyone, right? I don't know exactly if you love WordPress. I mean, people still are, diehard WordPress people. I just think that, it's going to take a long time before here's a better way. The results that I can get going lower in the abstraction layer, I think are always going to outpace the like anything that WordPress could create. Or I'm not picking on WordPress. I'm saying any platform like that. I had a video on my channel about the abstraction layers. Okay. And I don't want to just like completely like, harken back to videos, but I was talking about this abstraction layer thing. And the concept is I love the idea of getting rid of like the CMS in a lot of senses and getting rid of like page builders and all this other stuff because I want to go closer to the code. And when I'm in Astro or when I'm in Claude Code and like doing things in Astro or Next.js or whatever, I just feel like I have so much more control and I feel like I know where I want to go and I know like structurally from a from a data structure perspective and from a like a technology perspective what I actually need to accomplish, and it's just worked out a lot more. So I actually have 9 hours of content building this entire site here, all the things that I did. It's currently in Modern Builder Society. It shows the entire process. And obviously I have some other stuff, on my main channel, but I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to continue to post this stuff as much as possible because I think that it's important to show like what the raw situation is. It's not, I want you to understand that it's, in my opinion, way faster. Like the I don't know how to describe it. The value for what you get and like, or not the value in money sense, but like the time for output is unbelievably unmatched. Like it would have taken me so much longer. Maybe you're faster than me because I know some people are way faster than me at like WordPress and Bricks or whatever the fuck or Etch or whatever. But like if like the output that I get on sites like this is just so much better. And then real quick, like there's some things that you have to do a little bit more custom, for instance, like, like an SMT plugin or something like that. Some of your stuff, but it's still not like a heavy lift. But the other thing is that you get an opportunity to do even more from an API perspective, because the thing is just wiring it up. So you feed it the docs and you say, hey, I want to wire in this API. I mean, I don't want to go back to this, but like this is an exact example of that, right? Like, how would I have had to do this in WordPress? I would have been forced to use the widgets and like embed shit or whatever, or I would have had to do something really custom that like would have been hard, because then I was like you could load like the whole code base into whatever. But here's the thing. Okay, I've been rambling a little bit. Hopefully this answer was like half decent, but here's the deal. The reality of the situation, okay? The reality of the situation to like a question like this is, I understand, but here's my honest take. I think we haven't been led astray, but like we haven't like it's a hot take. 99% of the websites that like people have been building with WordPress probably didn't need to be built with WordPress. It was just because WordPress was like the easiest thing to do those for. Like, you really don't need, if you don't have e-commerce and stuff, you don't have all this other stuff, like WordPress is great because it's very robust. But if you notice, like WordPress was a blogging platform, and all the other shit on top of it was like built to make it extend all these other things, which is great. But because it wasn't designed like that, and it was designed a while ago, there are trade-offs. I'm not telling you to stop using it. I'm just telling you that like I knew that like a lot of my shit was just like simple marketing websites that really, when you break it down, is just like it could just be simple code. Like, I'm not even saying like HTML and CSS. Obviously, Astro makes things a little cooler and nicer with the framework side of things. But like that's ultimately like all it is. Like it's not, you don't need a crazy thing for this. And then we talk about the CMS. This website was actually the first time I used Sanity. I have some thoughts on Sanity. I don't love it. You can see it in like the video and everything, but I don't know. It's kind of mid. I probably am going to keep looking for other CMSs because like it's kind of, at least the way that I was using, maybe I was using it wrong, kind of seemed like a little slow in the back end. I got to think into that, but I'm happy that I tried it. But yeah, so I don't know. There's just a lot of different things to kind of consider when you're doing all this. But to me, I know that was a long-winded answer to that question. But you know, should everyone move off? I mean, I'm not saying you should, but I have no ambition whatsoever to build in WordPress now that I've been completely radicalized by this way of building. Like it's just too goddamn efficient. It's too efficient. It's too liberating. It's too empowering. And it's just too good. You know, like it works. And I will say though, there's 1000%, you are 1000% going to need to learn more dev shit. Like if you don't know what an environment variable is, you're going to need to fucking know what that is. You know, like you can't, there's probably other platforms that abstract that stuff away, but like if you want to deal with Claude Code and you want to like spin up, you want to like, go to here, and then if you've never used GitHub, right? Like if you've never used GitHub, like you're gonna need to figure out this. This is not a hard thing, but you're gonna need to deal with this, and then you're gonna need to deal with like Cloudflare or Vercel or wherever else you would host something. Like you're gonna need to do that. So it's no different than probably when you learned WordPress. It's just the question is like, how complacent are you and how hard is your workflow right now? But I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the last thing I'll say, and then I'll go to the rest of the comments. The last thing I'll say is, you have to realize though that everyone else is moving, in the direction, and like everybody else is getting, like it's getting easier for everyone else. It's getting faster for everyone else, like slowly, right? On the uptick. If people take this stuff into consideration. Fuck, let's just think about this. Maybe we're not in the same exact, niche and area or whatever, but let's say that like you and I were like pitching somebody, like it's going to be faster. I'm going to build this website, like this website built in, 9 hours. Now you might think it's like maybe templated or whatever. It's not. I mean, it's not a template. It's literally like custom, but it is taking, obviously it's not like it's a website that looks like other websites. Like it's not, it's pretty much everything, every fucking website everyone ever makes. Right. So like, but like this thing built like that, spun back and output really quickly. And at any time I could just come in, just literally with my voice, like change shit. Like you just got to think about that long term. It's like, do you want to be competing against that in drag and drop land? Like I just can't understand it. And I don't say that from like a disrespect angle. It doesn't compute in my head, but that's just me. So that's that. I actually knew Astro before AI came in. Tried again with Claude. This is a really great build with Stack. Yeah, I mean, it's not a new thing. Obviously, it's been around, but it's just like the one that AI has like really navigated towards and everything. Do you use any CMS for the content part with Astro or just simple markdown files, the content? So, I mean, all the websites that I have for my website, I don't have a CMS. It's all just, the Astro markdown. It's all just Astro markdown, and like, anytime I want to change anything, like anytime I wanted to put all these tools in here, I literally just said like, what's the most recent one that I put in here? Three.js, I think. So it was like, what I did was I fired up the workspace, and where the fuck is it? I fired up the workspace, and then I was like, I was like in something like this, right? Just this is my workspace. By the way, I owe you guys some content. I owe the world some content on like just the simple stuff. But like, this is VS Code. This is the Claude Code extension. Your directory is over here, that type of thing. But down here, I just, if this was my workspace for my website, I would just say, hey, I want to add a tool to our tools page. You know how to do this. We're going to grab the light, the dark logos. We're going to, put a simple explanation, and then I want to give you my context. So it knows, because it can go grab all the information here. It can know that it's free. It gets like, the light and dark logos. It, puts the name there. It grabs this. It does the research to do the basic stuff. And then this part, when you click into this, I don't know why my shit is being slow today. I will say that I do need to figure this out. Like, I think there's a problem with Cloudflare. I think there's too much shit being served on Cloudflare. I really do think I need to get the fuck off of it. It's starting to be a little bit of a concern, because I think sometimes when I'm doing things, like, I notice that Cloudflare is just like being extra fucking slow, and it pisses me off. Which I can't complain about it, because it's free, So that's why everybody wants free shit until the free shit sucks, which literally I can't fucking go to a fucking thing right now. So that's cool. But anyway, whenever we get into this, because Cloudflare is somewhat unreliable sometimes with the pages hosting, so I'm gonna have to consider that. I give it all this context, and then it writes like a little description for me on the inside that's more in my voice and like my thoughts on it. Like, because this is obviously just what this is. And then I always wanted this. Like, I've done this so many iterations on all my websites. So I don't know why I'm telling you all this. It's just because all this stuff is served it's all in the markdown files, and I can just all do it from there. I will say though, that's not like a requirement. Like, even with this project, here's the real big unlock. Again, I don't know how to say it other than try not to do anything manually. What you could do, right? This is really next level shit. What you can do is, like, you could be in VS Code with this website. Like, and again, I show this all in that video, in the 9 hours. Currently in Modern Builder Society only. What I do in this is I link up Sanity. I put in the API key. So inside of VS Code, I could tell it to go like, hey, go add a bunch of stuff to Sanity. So for instance, when I was building it out initially, like, all of the headshots and the information and everything like that, like, all of this I had in like documents. And then I said, hey, all of the shit is in these documents in this directory. Go take this and go put it into Sanity, like, not into markdown files. Go put it into Sanity. Like, we already linked up everything. And then from VS Code, like, because technically it was just like API like writes, but if you had an MCP server for something, or if you're using an API or whatever, like, you can do it that way as well. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just kind of crazy. Like, it's just if you could teach yourself to kind of live here, then I mean, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's pretty helpful. And if you make a skill, Dennis says here, thank you for being here, brother. And if you make a skill of your way of working, it's gold. Only thing is that Claude is really expensive. Yeah, so I'm on the $100 a month plan. Obviously not cheap. A lot of people are on the $200 a month plan. They say they hit limits. I haven't hit limits ever. I must not be doing hard enough work. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, you could get out the $20 a month plan, but I understand that it could be expensive. The API is really expensive. You start, doing that a lot, but while it's still subsidized, there's, got to try to take advantage of it, I guess, as much as possible. But yeah, there's some other things that I'd love to show you, specifically some other ways that I've utilized AI in general. I mean, I can tell you a little bit about this website just real quick too, because like there's like another situation that we're gonna like implement in here where there's like a couple other like they have like a ERP, or I don't know if it's ERP, but like they have like another system where things go in. So like we implemented this squeeze page and like this stuff gets sent over there. But again, like I just want to let's I don't want to go specifics right this second. Like I just want to explain that like if you're on the fence about any of this, like you shouldn't be intimidated by things that have already been done. Meaning like if you're not doing anything incredibly innovative and you're just trying to like do your work better, you should not be afraid by trying this stuff. If it's already been done, the patterns exist. I'm not saying AI is 100% right. It is glorified autocorrect, but like every single time that I've given the AI enough like context to synthesize, it does like I mean, it is most I very rarely like get problems with the stuff that I'm producing. Like at minimum on the output side, again, we could talk about like code review and all this other shit. I think at a certain point that starts to matter. Probably not with a simple fucking marketing website. You could just tell it. You could just say like, hey, make sure that we're crossing our T's, dotting our I's. Like, what are some things that we should definitely do? Quick story about that is that, in actually it was in one of the videos. It was in the draft app. I could show you the draft app maybe a little bit or something, but I made this draft app for this ball hockey league that I'm in, and we just used it. And it was great. And I in that video, in the longer video where it's like, I think I could go right here actually. In this longer video on my channel, this raw session, you can see like kind of in the back half of this, I talk about like code review and things like that. And I mean, it's pretty smart, guys. Like it tells you what to do. Like it's like it's talking about rate limiting on like forums and all this other stuff for multiple different like stuff like projects and things. Like it it's gonna steer you. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's a 10 out of 10 security researcher, but Mythos might be. So we'll see how that happens. But I'm not gonna debate anymore because I don't care to think about what is or what isn't or what every single sign that I'm seeing is this shit's just going to continue to get better or the world's going to end. So I'm pretty much that's the bet that I'm making, and we'll see how it pans out. But yeah, that's my point is like, I feel like for marketing websites, like simple Astro websites, like the risk vectors are super small. And as long as you try to make every single one better, then I don't even know. I don't even know what else to say. Like, it's just, it's amazing. Like what you can do. And these aren't shit sites. You might not love this design or whatever, but like, this isn't terrible. This isn't AI slop. This looks like a legitimate thing because it is. So that's that. Yo, what's up? Thank you for being here. I watched most of your recent video last night all the way through while eating a Whataburger. Nice. I love your redesign. Funnels are so good. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know. It's fun. I think this is one we're talking about. I think there's some improvements. I tried to do this as quickly as possible because I have a tendency to over perfect certain things, but I thought it was kind of a cool experience. And honestly, again, this was more of like a personal thing for me because I couldn't do it anymore. But one other real practical thing that I didn't say earlier is the fact that like if you have an agency and you're somebody that like wants to be I'm not saying you need to be a content creator or whatever, but if you're like comfortable with your name and you're going to operate out of your name, you might as well just go this route. Like why would you separate both things? I'm not saying from an entity perspective. I'm not giving you legal advice, although I've made a lot of LLCs in the past. I think that was a mistake. I think I should have had like more consolidated. And now I'm like over time I've consolidated a lot more. Just for clarity, I have two LLCs, like two entities. I have my Szymanski Media LLC and I have Motive 11 LLC. Motive 11 is like all of like the implementation stuff, the client work, and then Szymanski Media is affiliate, sponsorships, content, community stuff, like advisory, like that type of thing. So just so you understand, like I still do have two like back of house things, but like when you really break it down, like especially today, maybe some of the reason that you're watching me or any of your favorite content creators or whoever the fuck you watch, it's like you want to like we're so inundated by all this AI shit, which is great, but also like there is a level of us that's still probably gonna be human at least until we get Neuralinks on our head, right? So like, and even then we're probably gonna have some sort of weird thing where it's like, oh, we still want that human attention and whatever. So if you're okay with that and you're even somewhat of I'm not saying you put your whole life on the internet, but you want to be known as like a person that knows Astro or knows web design or knows graphic design. and you're not going to build a team, and you don't have you don't have like the ambition to necessarily do that, because I don't, like, I don't want to manage people. I was actually thinking about, like, oh, I'm going to need to manage people, and then I realized, oh, I could just have AI do most of my fucking work, and like, and just do my stuff faster but still do it at the same quality. Like, I don't know why everyone's not doing this. I know a lot of people are, and that's one of the reasons that I started doing it like 3 years ago, where you're just like kind of more your personal brand type thing. But I'm just saying, like, from a, business perspective, unless you want to build a whole ass company and you want to be saying we, then you should probably just lean into this. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not saying you need to be a content creator and all that, but you should probably just like kind of be more of a, like a solo consultancy, or like I never liked the word freelancer. I thought it was like a little bit too, no disrespect, like sounded unprofessional, or the stigma was unprofessional. But the bigger problem for me was, like, I was like, oh, I had an agency. It's like, okay, well, it's one fucking person, bro. It's not really an agency. And I just feel like this, as simple as this is, like, this made this feel better for me, and just drive people this way, and just like, focus on this. Cause like, Motive 11 is a cool name. I'm so glad I renamed the company, but it's just, as of right now, it's just me. And I don't know if it's always gonna be me, but for now it is. And I just wanted to move people this way because my way of marketing is me. Like, I'm the marketing vector. So it just made so much sense. Now yours might be different, but I just wanted to kind of give you those things to think about, where if you are just a solo, then you should just try to, build that pillar up. And I've made that mistake for a very long time. So if you're not, if hopefully I can save you some time, to do that. Um, YW, not sure what that means. Um, the we was so relatable. I had the same issue a few years ago when I had a web design agency. I ended up shutting that business down and rebranded just my name. Yeah. Yeah. I still have a problem with like my name as the brand. But I don't have a problem as like being an authority, or trying to, be like a thought leader, authority, like, or an expert in a domain. I mean, truthfully, quick anecdote is like, I've gone through this website. When this website went up, like, I've gone through, like, you can just look back at all the stuff because it's all documented. But before, I was like deep into WordPress and all that other stuff, which is fine, but like, didn't have the audience, didn't have, I mean, still don't really have the audience, but I mean, like, there's the total addressable market there wasn't very big. I was late to that party. And like, I'm now like, I'm not trying to be an AI hype guy, but I'm trying to like realize that like the world has changed, and that's the thing. So what I'm saying is, it's easier to build your identity around something that's like interesting, timely, and like attention worthy. And that's kind of where it's gone. But at the same time, I still have like an entity that I can kind of like I can offload some of the, I don't know. So like, I can offload like the back end part. You know what I mean? Like, I just the thing that comes to mind here is like, my very first business that I started was like Mark Joseph Szymanski LLC, and I was like, this is the dumbest fucking thing ever, because it's just confusing. You know what I mean? So just some little, you know, minutia there is just like, not necessarily it's your brand is the name of like the entities and stuff like that, but like, ultimately you are the front door for everything, and then you can kind of filter people appropriately on the back end or what have you. And it's just like, if you're one person, and you're gonna make the decision, it's a double-edged sword, right? You don't want to do the we thing, but you also don't want to like manage two brands and be like basically two separate marketing teams, which I've done so much in the past. It just didn't make any sense for me. So I think we're kind of relatively all on the same page on that. But that's, your situation may vary, but that's ultimately kind of the way that I think of it. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Yes, yes, yes. Appreciate you. Um, quick question, if I may. Absolutely. A lot of my clients from before would ask me about SEO, being found on Google, etc. With AI and everything that's going on, is ranking on Google still relevant, possible? Oh boy. So how do I preface this? I'm going to preface this with, I'm not an SEO. I never sold like SEO professionally. I'm going to be also honest that when I say shit like that, I definitely undersell my capabilities. So you can just, take this with a grain of salt. I really think that SEO is generally, it to a degree, it was snake oil before. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm saying there's so much bullshit in that industry There was so much snake oil that it had a bad name before AI. And now, knowing what I know, I can't even imagine what that industry has had to do and turn into actually, like, if you actually looked into the industry. Now, maybe there's some SEO professionals in here, maybe I'm completely wrong, but also I would say that, like, there's probably, it probably depends on who you are and, like, your level of honesty. I mean, in a way, I'm not calling anybody a liar. I'm just saying, like, let's just think about it quickly, objectively, right? It's like the only way that I really know how to build real trust is to provide value. It's the only way I've ever done it. It's the only way that I've seen most people that I have looked up to and have valued in some way, was that they provided value to me, and then I trust them, right? Now, I realize we're not all going to be YouTubers. That's my way that I've chosen to do it, or, partially, and that's an option, right? There's many other mediums. That's just the one that comes to mind. But ultimately, I think it's really simply like you provide value and you get something out of it. The reason this SEO question is particularly interesting to me right now is because I was on a call yesterday with an SEO agent, or a real estate agent that wants to rank in this area of Pittsburgh. And I'm thinking to myself, it's like, okay, like, that's not that hard of a task, because there's like 1,100 homes in this area and only like 50 transactions a year. It's like, okay, we could definitely devise some sort of a strategy to kind of like do that. But the question becomes, it's like, SEO is such a weird thing, because the only real way that I've ever thought of how to do real SEO is more volume and like slightly better, targeting at times, right? But like, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, it's not real, I'm not saying any of that shit. Like when I make my websites and stuff like that, I'm telling it like, "Hey, make sure we're making, we have like our schemas in place and we have all this stuff," especially now that like WordPress isn't doing some of that stuff with like a Rank Math or a Yoast SEO, right? Like that is important. But that is not what people sell you. I mean, they sell you maybe a little bit of technical SEO, but it's all that's smoke and mirrors. Like, you don't have to manage that heavily from month to month, okay? That's the first thing. The only thing that I've ever really understood about SEO, or ever like took to heart, is that if you were going to do ongoing stuff, like, you'd have to be producing content. And then I think about it, and I'm just working this out in my mind. So, if you have thoughts, let me know. But this is an important point. If you're going to pay somebody like monthly to do that, then they're going to be producing content for you. And if they're producing content for you, what is that content? Like, I came from the real estate industry. I worked in the real estate industry for 3 years. I was not a real estate agent. I was in the corporate. The amount of shit that those people got flooded with back in 2018, 2019 or whatever, absolute dog shit. Like, like, they would sell basically platforms and like weekly blog posts that like every fucking agent using that same thing was getting. So somebody comes to their website and it looks okay, but if you go to any other fucking agent's website, it looks all the exact same. So it's like that. I mean, I am just so tainted by that. It's such smoke and mirrors garbage, most of it. Like, most of the people in that, I honestly feel like the majority. I could be wrong, but like, I feel like a lot of people are like that. I don't know. This is the thing, is like, I don't know how you organically market yourself other than doing like what I do. And I don't mean YouTube. I just mean like putting shit out there, either yourself or heavily influenced by you. So I know this is long-winded, but the only way that I think that I'm gonna, for instance, like, I would show up in ChatGPT or on YouTube or whatever for the things that I'm trying to do, is just more of what I'm doing, maybe a little bit more tactfully. I just think maybe we should probably stop calling it search engine optimization, because it's been fucked up. I know there's like AEO or AIO, whatever the fuck, LMNOP, whatever they call it, right? It honestly should just be more like organic marketing consulting or something. Like, I literally, the problem that I have with it is it resonates so much with me, but I feel like I do it so naturally. And I have a very hard time selling it to people, because I realize, like, you're asking for something that I feel like ethically I can't provide for you, because there's no way, like what am I going to do for you to help your business grow from that angle, other than, I mean, there's a way you could do it, right? And maybe this is what the good people actually do. It's probably something like, okay, listen, we will increase your organic marketing, But here's the deal. You're not really paying me. This isn't like a done for you. I don't think it can be. This hypothesis. Okay. I know there's some comments. I'll get to this. I don't think it could be a DFY situation, like when done appropriately. I think it has to be a DWY at minimum, right? Like done with you. And I'm thinking out loud because I literally have this possible opportunity on my pipeline right now. I'm thinking, how can I help this person? The only way I think I could help this person is that agent and I sit down every week for like an hour or two. And the simplest way you could do it different ways, but the simplest way is like we just interview, like literally just record a conversation where I'm asking a bunch of questions and they're answering with their expertise. Cause this is the fucking problem. These people have organic marketing opportunities like inside them. Like they have the content. They don't realize it, but they have it. So maybe this is why maybe I'm being a little semantic here, but the whole thing is pulling that out of them. It's not smoke and mirror bullshit fucking keyword stuffing. It's none of that. I don't think that's that. I think it's been gone for a while, but it's definitely gone now because we're worried about people even going to fucking websites, right? Like this is a totally different problem. It's like, how can I get all this information out of you? And then how can we publish it effectively and efficiently under your name or under your brand? Like that's what it is. So I know that I probably didn't answer your question, but it's just like, that is the only way that I could understand that SEO is at all valuable moving forward. And I don't even want to call it that anymore because I don't think that that's the right thing. I know they call it the AI, whatever the fuck, but it's literally just reputation building. Like that's all it is. It's a little bit of technical stuff for sure to make sure the robots understand what's going on. But other than that, I don't see what else it is. And maybe that's literally what the good people have been doing for a while. But I don't know how to sell that. Because I do it for myself literally every single day, and I do it for other clients, like kind of in a way when I'm building. But maybe you guys have better ideas on how to actually make that into a service. And maybe it's as simple as that. Maybe I'm overcomplicating it. Very possible. But the whole point is like, I have people come to me. I feel you though. I'm empathetic because I have people come to me as, oh, we need SEO. It's like, do you? You know, what do you think you mean? I literally, I have home service companies and now this real estate agent and other people, they're like, we need SEO because we're a business owner and we need SEO. I wish that I was in this fucking industry when it was popping off because these people have co-opted the fuck out of these business owners into thinking that they need some sort of smoke and mirror stuff. And again, I'm not trying to shit on every person that does SEO. I know there's a lot of people that like that, but it's just like, they are literally brainwashed into thinking that they need this like thing that they don't even understand. It's crazy. It's crazy. A company wanting SEO services typically have a marketing problem, not an SEO problem in my experience. That's a good way to put it. Way more concise than I did. Appreciate you. I agree. I just always had trouble converting leads into clients simply because I couldn't guarantee 1 or 2 spot on Google. It was ridiculous. SEO takes time, but they never got that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know who is selling this shit. I feel like the only thing that's happening, I mean, maybe I do more research. I feel like the thing that's happening here is like, they hear that shit from other people. It's like they have to be getting sold on this or like pitched on this. And then they get the idea in their head, the shiny thing in their head, and then then they somehow like think that is it's like completely possible and easy, just have to pay money. But then maybe they don't want to pay the money to whoever's pitching them. So then they ask other people and they're like, well, I know it's possible. And it's like, I mean, it's obviously most things are possible, but it's like how much effort and what level of possibility it is and how much money and time is it going to take, right? So it's just a weird, I don't know. I don't do web design anymore. I switched to building software applications for businesses and had more success in that market. Not as many clients, but much bigger payouts. I agree with that. I'm happy you're having success there. I can show you guys the video game that I'm trying to build. It's more of a side project, but it is also for like an entity. Ultimately maybe. But I feel like if you have like any level of a developer type background, and again, I wouldn't classify myself as a trained developer, but I'm also underselling myself on what I actually know there. If you have that and you're interested in that and you want to go that route, then I feel like there's a couple things. Like I've tried to make not just websites, but I made like an inventory system like type of thing. It's kind of basically like a little web app situation. I made this content generation app that I made the video on. Um, I'm making like video editing workflows. Like I'm doing all sorts of stuff. Like I mean, this literally it's the sky. The sky's the limit here, obviously now, right? The trouble with that is just like you know it's easier to sell in some ways, and like you said, maybe not as many clients in certain ways, but like I do think it's a good direction to kind of be thinking about if it comes naturally because this website thing is going to continue to evolve, and there's going to be a lot of people now that are actually going to be competing, and they're going to be able to make better stuff in a short amount of time because I was thinking the people that are not embracing like the people that have embraced AI and imagine the people that you were getting if you were in web design, like you were getting undercut by people doing simple stuff before or whatever. Um, once they start using AI, like I mean, like it's gonna be better shit. You know what I mean? Because it's unless they do complete slop work, but if they cared at all to like just talk, like just type in something different, like it's probably gonna be like it's gonna be easier. I don't think we can make any arguments that it's not easier to do a lot of this stuff now, right? So I don't know. It's just something to consider. But I'm with you on the software stuff. I kind of want to like do some of that as well. And that's kind of one of the directions that I'm leaning. It's just website stuff has always came easy to me because I understand all of it. So yeah, conversation needs to be had. Some education as to why the client wants the SEO services. It's usually a red herring for another issue or misunderstanding of how they market their business. Yeah, I mean, I can weigh in on that a little bit too. Like, if it's a home service business, like I've been talking to, it's like, it's literally crazy. I'll tell you this explicitly, painting company literally are coming to me and they're saying, we need SEO services. And I'm like, okay, well, what's your experience been like with that? How's that? It's like, yeah, we have a company. We don't really love the stuff, the way that it's being handled or whatever. The customer service isn't that good. And I'm like, well, what are you getting from like, this is the most like chilling answer I've ever gotten in my entire life. I say to them, and I'm not even a big like numbers guy all the time. I have to become way more of it now, like with like asking about it and everything. And it's good. I'm not saying you shouldn't be, but traditionally I haven't even been good at these conversations. But this hit me like a ton of bricks. I say to them, I'm like, so you're doing SEO. You don't like the customer service at their end because like they're slow with certain things. Yeah, whatever. But like you're doing SEO with them and like whatever. I was like, and what the fuck is SEO? It's just a black box. Okay. And I'm like, okay, so like you're paying for this every month, right? Like a couple grand or something. Like, yeah. And it's like, okay, what are you getting? Like, what are the results? And they literally say, well, it's hard to measure that. I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, what? Like, but then they came to me and they literally said, we need SEO. Like they didn't say, do we need it? Like what they said, we need it. I'm like, this is what I was talking about earlier. Like these people, I feel bad. These people have literally been co-opted into thinking that that's something that they just need, like without a doubt. Again, caveats and whatever asterisks. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just saying that like they have. I wish that I could have co-opted people. I don't actually wish that, but it's funny. Like what the hell happened in the last like 15 years where everyone and their mother just thought that that was the thing. And now you may think that that's like, your objection could be like, well, that's the same thing with AI and all that stuff. It's fundamentally fucking different. But I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I can't even begin to think about it. I literally want to do like psychoanalysis on these people that think that they need SEO, yet they can't even tell me how it's affecting their business. And it's hard. It's really hard to talk somebody out of that. It's hard to, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but it's like I was, again, on the call yesterday, I was thinking, I was like, man, I need to either talk this person out of this or I need to possibly like walk away if they're too dead set on this. Luckily, this person like trusts me from, conversations and stuff that like they've had with others and stuff. So there's a little bit of, it was a referral. So, I might not have as much there, but like, could you imagine if you have I'm sure you guys have already had this, like a cold lead come to you and say that they need SEO and they're like dead set on it. I just feel bad. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I can't, like, I want to sell you. I want to take your money, but I also want to provide you value because I'm not an asshole. So it's like, how do you bridge that? It's like, I guess, yes, with education, but also at some point it's got to be like, what are we, what are we doing here? It's a weird middle ground. I don't know. They should just have Claude interview them on the topic or whatever, then write a blog post. Yeah. I mean, I would 100% agree with that. I think that here's the trouble. I feel like I'm trying to educate people on that type of thing. So I have like a little bit of an advantage, but like ultimately, like all of the answers are literally right in front of people. It's not always like 100% accurate, but like that's a great idea. But are they going to think of doing that? You know what I mean? It's like we have to kind of put these ideas in front of them, but then somehow stay in the loop. If you're just an implementer, right? And if you're just a consultant. So that's why you have to stay like, like one step ahead. And I don't know, it's kind of interesting, but that's pretty much what it is. I mean, it's just context gathering at this point, like hugely. Context gathering and QA are like the things right now. It's pretty cool. Hey, what's up? What's up? Hey, Mark, have you found a better CMS alternative than Sanity? So I'm not going to lie to you. You guys are going to hate me for this if you've been here the whole stream. For the other website, why don't I show you examples? Well, I mean, this is also on there, but I don't know if you're talking about if you watch the video and you're talking about it. Let me see. Cloudflare is really fucking me right now. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find the other YouTube video. It's like always when I'm streaming too, is Cloudflare just decides to not load my shit. It must know. There's a video on my second channel, but I collaborated with my first, I thought. Yeah, okay, that's so great that the Cloudflare doesn't load anything while I'm doing this. Let me go here real quick. The one thing I would just turn you to is, so Sanity is okay. Like it's definitely really cool the way that you don't actually configure anything on the back end. You configure it all via code, and obviously Claude knows how to hook everything up, like with Astro to Sanity. So I would recommend, I can recommend it. Like it's not like I don't know if I was doing something wrong with like the slowness, but it works. Okay, that's why I'm saying I recommend it. It seems pretty flexible. It works. You can change things. You can customize things. I wouldn't say don't use it. It just seemed like it was a little clunky in certain ways, like I said on the back. This video right here, and then I'll give you this one here. Probably some of the most interesting stuff if you haven't seen it, because like this one, I literally turned an Elementor website into a headless WordPress website. So Astro was the front end where I could build way faster now with AI, the front end part, because that's the part that's traditionally been the slowest for me. But then the back end was still WordPress. Now I did it there because they were already familiar with WordPress, whatever. But that was a landscaping website that will not load because assumingly Cloudflare is just being an absolute piece of shit today. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to say. Maybe I should stop using Cloudflare. Seriously considering it. But anyway, you can see that. So in my short list of CMSs right now is WordPress I've tried, Sanity I've tried, both obviously headless. I've heard about Statamic. I've obviously heard about Mdash. I really don't have any interest in Mdash, to be completely honest with you. It's too like it's just trying, at least the last thing I saw, it's just trying to be WordPress. And it's like, okay, great. Well, I'm not trying to be WordPress. I don't want my CMS to be WordPress. I want my CMS to be better than WordPress, like lighter, more specific. Like Sanity, here's the best thing about Sanity. Probably other CMS as well, but Sanity, you didn't have to get rid of shit. You just had to add stuff, meaning that like it basically starts blank and then it only adds in the things that you want, which is great because WordPress is the complete opposite. It's got too much shit in there and you have to hide all of it, right? So that's something. But other than that, I haven't dove down the rabbit hole of CMSs yet. If I had to build another website literally right now, honestly, I might try Sanity again. Unless the people had WordPress, experience, then it's like, okay, I don't mind using WordPress as a CMS since, that one example was pretty straightforward. I do really mind right at this point. Like, I just don't want to use it for the front end stuff. I feel like it's just more trouble than it's worth for me. And it's way slower. So, yeah, I will say this. A lot of people are building their own kind of like mini CMSs. And the only other thing that I would say is, I'm interested in a world where my clients could just use their voice and prompt the information in, because that's how I handle this website. Now, I'm not saying they would need to fucking open Claude Code. Not what I'm saying. I don't think that that's the way to handle it. I think it's more like an agentic style of CMS that I do think probably already exists. I just haven't seen a big one yet. I think that is kind of partially the future because I can't see a world where people still want to like drag shit around and type stuff when they get used to this idea of just telling the thing what to do. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, think about it. They have like, let's say that somebody, one of your clients doesn't like to be in WordPress. What are they going to tell you to do? I get these emails all the time. Like, hey, can you add, Bob Smith, our employee, to our website? Here's his first name, last name, whatever. They could tell an agent to do that. Like it would do the exact same thing, right? So I think part of the value could be like setting those types of things up for people as well. I haven't experimented with yet. I will tell you guys though, we are still early. So there's a lot of good ideas that people are going to have today that aren't really going to pop off for, maybe multiple years. So it's really you got to get ahead, you got to stay ahead, you got to be ahead, but you can't be too far ahead from an implementation standpoint because Google Glass, okay? Google Glass. You ever remember Google Glass? Yeah, that was the best example of being way ahead of your time. Dude, websites themselves are sometimes not needed by the client, let alone SEO services. So many companies have websites that do not serve them at all, and they still think they need it. Yeah, it's another great point. Another great point there. I would argue, yeah, that there's definitely a lot of times where that's the case. I think there's probably more cases where the websites just suck and it's like they think they don't need a website, but really if they had a decent website, it would actually do something for them. Even again, like that's even like another thing, right? It's like, well, what do we even mean by website? I don't mean like a big crazy web. Like there's so many industries where it's like, yeah, you probably don't need a website. Like another example is I could show you something really cool here in a second. Another example is like restaurant websites. Let me see if I can pull this up while I'm talking because it could be kind of cool. Like restaurants, right? It's like, what's the value of a restaurant having a website? Like obviously to order, but like order and maybe do like other certain things. But I'm sure there's like industries that it's like every time I go to a website for a restaurant, it always ends up taking me some sort of fucking like external source anyway. You know what I mean? But the problem with that is like you never feel at home almost, or you never feel like a good experience. But there are definitely times where like people definitely don't need a website or they don't need something big and crazy. And again, from our industry perspective, that might be something that we've kind of pushed to people. It's like, oh, everyone needs a website. I think most people could probably benefit from it, but not every single situation like necessarily calls for it for sure. What am I looking for here? I was looking for a very specific thing. I put together a flow. I was trying to build a skill. What is this thing called? Was it that? Content curation and creation? No, that's not it. Hang on a second. So I put together a flow. No, it's not that. It was literally like I had this idea because people wanted to, or like people have this idea. I see these videos where people walk into businesses and they say, hey, I built this website for you. It's whatever. I think there's some value there, but I don't think it's like walking into businesses. I'm trying to find where the fuck which thing I put this in, which directory I put this in, but I don't know. No, that's not it. There's somewhere in here. I have to find it on my screen, but it's like it was a workspace that I set up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make a skill. My whole point was to make a skill that I could share, where it makes good websites, like good enough websites, when you feed it in like a URL, like an existing URL for a website, and then potentially some additional context, right? And then you just let it run, and it just creates a website, and it did it solid. And I don't remember where it is. Thumbnail generator, recording app, branding. I would have to find it. But I did want to make a video on that because that would kind of blow some people's minds. I have literally no idea where. Oh, wait a second. Is it in my? Oh, wait a second. It's in my C drive, I think. Hang on a second. Yeah, it's kind of Kind of crazy. Also, if you want to see the video game, I'll show you the video game. Nobody's seen the video game yet, except Modern Builder Society. But it's pretty cool. Well, it's actually not done yet. It's like if you've ever played NHL, I play ball hockey, so I wanted to make a thing for it. Okay, I think it's here. Yes, maybe no. Do I have any chats in here? No. Where's it at? I don't know where I put the actual thing at, but I don't know. Every time you look at something like this, it's kind of just like whatever. But here, let me see if I can just show you this real quick. I mean, it's honestly nothing incredibly special because you can't. Where the fuck did I put that skill? I don't know. Maybe I'll just make a video on this. But the whole point is like I am looking to try to create a skill effectively that you could utilize to build websites, build simple websites at scale. If you just gave it like, let's say you give it like 5 URLs and you say, hey, using this pipeline of stuff, go out there, look at those URLs, come back, get all the context from that, make some decisions. I'll give you extra context if I know anything specifically about the businesses or whatever, and then build like those websites, deploy them, or maybe I don't know if you really it's going to deploy them or not, but that'd be great. Like deploy them, and then I mean you could even automate the outreach process, but I would probably make that a little bit better so it's not like completely shit. And then, yeah, just that's kind of the idea. It's just like we have the opportunity to do that now, right? So much of this is like people are going to realize that you can build stuff really fast now because people are going to, like me, are going to say that they can build stuff really fast now because it's true. So then they're going to start to realize that you can build stuff really fast now. Responsible people will say that it still takes like effort, time, and like knowledge to kind of get it to be good. But if you can do it fast, then they're going to expect things to be done fast. I've already had people tell me this. Like I mentioned this last week, with the painter that was on the call. I think it was like a week and a half ago or whatever. I was talking to him about AI because he built like 6 websites that were all done by AI, and he said he did in like 3 hours for like $300. And I'm like, well, fuck. These people are going to realize this. I don't want to go too deep into this because I've talked about this in this other content that I made recently, but it's the reality. That's what's happening. I'm seeing it all the time. So they're going to realize that, and the chain of that is going to be like, we're going to need to get faster, and then everybody's going to need to jump into this if they're not already in it. But the point is like, you need to do it better because you can still do it better than them. Don't misunderstand that. Just because everyone can kind of do it fast, you can still do it better if you're thinking about it more and you're actually like planning out these different, skills and processes and all this other stuff. So yeah, it's kind of long and short on that. I've talked clients out of building websites because their social media was the way they were getting clients, not the website. Yeah, I mean, if it works. The only pushback I would say slightly on that is just like, the website, well, I mean, fuck, Cloudflare goes down every 5 seconds and doesn't work. But the point is like the website's the thing you can control. So that's something to consider. But obviously I know you know that. But I wouldn't, yeah, I mean, if all your business is coming from social media, I would lean into that. I would just also try maybe to get them. You don't need a website, obviously, as I think we're all on the same page, but like I would try to get some level of extra information from them. So just in case Instagram shuts your shit down tomorrow, you're not totally fucked, at least an email, text message, whatever. But I feel like most businesses that are doing that are probably, making that happen anyway, with some sort of, rewards or something like that. So that's the only thing I would say there. Most recent client owned a senior home. He wanted a custom app that allowed him and his employees to upload documents, track senior credentials. I built it in a week with Claude. Got through. That's fantastic. I mean, I think those are the things. Is like people read that and be like, "Oh, is it secure?" and all this other shit. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, maybe you should kind of like look into that, I guess. But, I mean, there's no like. I hate the argument because it's like. That was real value, like the output, assuming like it works, obviously, like the output of it is solid. Like if the output works and the customer is happy, that's like a huge check mark. Now, obviously there's some other things maybe we should double check for sure, but they're just like, a lot of people overlook the actual reality of the situation of like, oh, this works and this is helpful. Oh, Okay, we're just going to negate that for all the other stuff. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if that's really what I would, where I would place all of my objection to. I feel like the first one is pretty important. Did you again try that by Miles WordPress AI builder on any client website? I haven't tried it I haven't tried it at all since the video. I'm sure it's came somewhat of a way since then. I'm just going to be candid with you. I'm not like, I was interested in it. I was not paid to make that video by them. But I'm not interested in being confined to WordPress. That is the simplest way that I can say that. And I don't have any disdain. I'm just not interested. Like, I'm completely radicalized and completely empowered to just work with the code myself. Like, meaning like it's just, it is what it is. AI could blow up tomorrow. We could all be fucked tomorrow. I don't fucking tell the future in that way. So I'm making a bet the other way. I don't know what else to say. I don't see a world where that's possible. If I can get a GPU that can run AI, which I already have, like, then I don't see how it could ever go away. It could maybe like regress. Maybe if I had to like get a shittier model or something like that. I just don't see that necessarily happening. But it could. So I don't have an answer to that. But other people will tell you they do have an answer to that, and they're like, "Oh, it's going to happen." I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I know that's off topic, but my point is, that is the way that I think about it. As soon as I was able to go lower in the abstraction stack without actually like having to understand every bit of like syntax in that way, I was like, I'm gonna go this route, and I'm gonna make things that are of less concerning, like security and all that sort of stuff for that piece. But then also, like, I just think that everyone is going to be kind of building like that. And if you want to build in WordPress, I would highly recommend you build with something like that, because if you want to stay inside that ecosystem for whatever reason, then I think you're going to need to implement these types of things. And again, I know they're already working on this shit. I just think that it's going to be slower. Like, I just think it's going to be slower, and I'm not in a position. I got a child coming here in 2 weeks. I want to keep moving forward as fast as possible. And, I just don't think I would have been able to build the website that I built for myself, the new little experience I built for Motive 11, the Valor, insurance website I showed you. I don't think I would have been able to build any of that as fast as I did and as good as I did in like Miles, for instance. And that's nothing against Miles. I just mean in general in WordPress. Maybe it's because I suck at WordPress. I don't think that's accurate, but you can say that if you want. You know what I mean? Like, I just am having a good time in the land that I'm in. And let's see if this breaks. This might be a really bad idea. So we'll see if it is not a good idea or not. Let me see. I want to show you the video game. It's probably a really bad idea to try to do this while streaming. But if it breaks, it breaks. We'll monitor it real quick, just so you guys get an idea of the other stuff. Because I haven't seen too many people. I've seen some really shitty videos of people making stuff like with Chat GPT, like video games and stuff like that. I'm not trying to be a video game creator, although I am literally doing it right now. I just want to, it's another one of those things where I kind of want to see the extent of what I can kind of do. So I don't know, this might break, but we'll find out. Let me get my Xbox control out. I'm now a video game streamer. Hang on a second. I just want to, this is just another example of like, how can AI like help me? What can it do? Whatever. So I'll show you this in a second as soon as this Unity loads over here. What was I gonna say here? What do we got? Just curious. Back in like 2019, I was always told WordPress was the best for SEO because of the plugins. Any truth to that? So again, educated, probably directionally accurate answer with potentially caveats that maybe I overlook. What I believe in that case is that WordPress was the best for a long time because it was the first. WordPress is an incredible community of people that have gone back since like 2003. They wanted blogs. They wanted all that. It's a blogging platform. If it's a blogging platform, you think, okay, this website is meant to generate traffic, right? SEO as it's coming up, all that sort of stuff. When people started to understand SEO, they were like, how can we utilize this? WordPress was the thing. It was like the one, right? Webflow, Shopify, Wix, Squarespace, all those were like, predecessors. or no, successors. And and they and they WordPress was like, okay, we have all these blogs and like we want to make sure that like these are getting seen or whatever. So then that's when like the SEO idea, like or whatever the fuck, like the concept of it was probably born. I think I don't know when it was actually born, but I would imagine in that timeline at some point. And then like Yoast SEO and Rank Math and all this other stuff popped up. It was the easiest because it let you have the most control over that. And your question actually points to it the same way. It's like people say WordPress is good for SEO. It's not. I don't think that's true at all. I don't think WordPress is inherently any better or worse than anything else. It's the fact that like it abstracted the SEO shit into a plugin. And ultimately, the plugin owners did that, like the plugin creators of Yoast. And that's why Yoast is one of the biggest plugins, right? It's like it was the first one that made it so easy for you to set your meta tags and all this other shit. Realistically, though, that's like not hard at all. It's not even like slightly difficult. It was hard because you had to do it in the code and it wasn't a visual thing or whatever back then. It's not hard at all now because you, first of all, like Astra and stuff has like libraries to do it for you, which I guess you kind of call, you equate that to plugins, but like ultimately it's literally just like patterns of code. It's like meta tags and title tags and all that sort of shit. Like when the very first time that I ever built something with HTML and CSS, they were like, make sure you do like, you know, head tag, close the head tag, body tag, main tag, whatever, and like a title tag, whatever, right? Like that's like, it's oversimplified, but that is literally how simple some of the stuff is. And then there's like the open graph stuff and all that sort of shit that they started to layer in. So I think the answer to the question is that it was the best by proxy because it had plugins that let you manage the shit. For a long time, I think the idea was like Wix and Squarespace and stuff, they didn't care enough about it because they were caring about making the experience good and like you have being able to build stuff, not necessarily being able to rank or whatever. And rank just meaning like you could change the shit, like you could adjust that stuff, do the technical SEO work. So it didn't have that exposed in an easy way. So that's why it was worse and WordPress was better. But again, I want to make this point, and I have to make this point probably for the rest of the time. And I think maybe you guys already know this, but just on this vein is like the abstraction is gone if you want it to be gone. AI is not an abstraction layer. It's an abstraction in the sense of like you don't know exactly what it's doing, but you could like look and see what it's doing. It's a tool to do the work that you couldn't have done before that needed layers of abstraction built atop of it so you could do the fucking work. Like you don't have to do that anymore. Like you could just have AI do the work at the level that you didn't fully understand before, which is no different than like some other person doing the fucking work to make it so you could do the work in a level that you would understand. So that's the whole thing. Is I know that was, again, slightly off the beaten path there of the SEO thing, but that's the way that I think about that. And I think that that's ultimately the answer. Maybe somebody has a slightly different answer that was, you know, more tuned in, like as, you know, in the early 10s, I guess, as everything was popping off. But yeah. It's just turned into a Twitch stream. Yeah, we're about to turn into a Twitch stream right here. Look at this shit. Look at this. This is Unity. I don't want to, you know, if you guys don't like this, I don't have to spend a lot of time on this, but this is Unity. I don't even know what's going to happen here if I click this play button because I don't have Visual Studio Code open yet, but and I don't know if I need to actually, but this is Unity. Started working in here like a couple minutes ago, like literally 2 days ago, and hopefully it doesn't break my stream or anything, but the concept here is, I don't know why this preview looks like this, but when I hit this play button, we should be playing like a very basic version of like a hockey game with this controller in my hand. Maybe. Fuck yeah. So if you ever played like NHL on like console or anything, that was the concept here. Now, this isn't ice. This is, you know, this is a personal project. I'm offsides. This is a personal project. Watch, we have icing as well. Icing. This is a personal project that I've been working on for like 3 hours because I'm a member of the NBHL, which is the National Ball Hockey League. And it's like ice hockey. It's just minus the skates and the ice. It's just like a deck tile surface and you know, you do the same shit. You know, you have similar rules and all that sort of stuff, right? But it's with a ball instead of a puck, and you're running around and you're on feet instead of skates. So anyway, we don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but the point is that I was able to do this. I don't have any fucking experience doing this. You know what I mean? Like, and this is like a legitimate this is a legitimate thing. Like it's got the period's about to end. I can't fucking score because it's too hard to score right now. But like this is all just prompting, and so we got intermission, and then it does keep scoring all that stuff if I ever would actually score. And yeah, I mean, obviously this isn't incredibly crazy yet, but it's already a functioning game. You know what I mean? And I've spent a couple hours on this, and this is better than probably what most people like. It's got the AI, that the AI. Fuck, I suck, but it's got the AI of like the players running around and all this sort of shit. And I know they're just little capsules, but I don't know. This kind of stuff is just like really cool to me. The fact that like pretty much anyone could kind of do this now. Now I will say like I didn't just say make a video game though. Like again, also I'm filming all of this, so you'll be able to see it. But goal, I don't know how that went in, but yeah, my point is that there's a lot of cool shit going on, and I'm just excited that this is a capability now that we can do some more of this shit. So there's a lot of work, obviously, if I wanted to make this into look anything like NHL. But yeah. So pause menu, pretty cool, right? So yeah. I don't know what else to say about that. I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna film everything that I create because that's just the position that I'm in, and people literally look at this and be like you can switch players. They look at this and they'd be like, buddy, do you know any of the fucking code that's behind that? It's like, no, I don't, dude. I think the idea is just to embrace most of that for certain things, right? Like, I'm not saying build the fucking security system for the Pentagon without knowing anything, okay? But I'm saying, like, this is a fucking video game. You know what I mean? Like, it's, and even business systems, right? Like, stuff that's, like, non security compliance critical. First of all, you could build it and then get it reviewed if you really need to do that. But I just still feel like, I'll say this one time. The next Claude model, Mythos preview, if you've heard nothing about this, type in Project Glasswing. It found Project Glasswing. Glasswings. It was Whisperflow. Oh, maybe my whole internet just sucks or something like that. Are we even still streaming? Am I just talking to a dead internet here right now? What's going on? Anyway, this link right here, is it in this one or is it in the other one? This AI is finding 27-year-old vulnerabilities in stuff, 16-year-old vulnerabilities in FFmpeg. Like, do you know how many people have looked at this fucking code base in 16 years and they didn't find it? Humans, right? Like, what are we talking about? If the thing is so good at coding that it can find these, and this is the next one, but if it's all they did was train this on coding. They trained it to be a really good coder. And by extension, it knows the code and then it's able to reason out like security vulnerabilities and shit. If it can do this, bro, like my response isn't like, oh, I'm fucked. My response is like, oh, this is great. Now I can just have now I can like rise and ascend and like have this stuff do more shit for me. And it's just like, I'm tired of having that argument because I think it's all just going to play out. So fuck, I love that game. That's so cool. Ever thought about going into game development? I don't know. I think the problem with game development is, I mean, I'm literally am in game development, I think, right now, I guess. But the problem with that is that I like business too much. Like I like helping business owners, and people that buy video games. There's no ROI. There's just fun ROI. So it's just a different, it's a different model. It's a different conversation, different way to sell. It's obviously it's B2C. Not saying no. Maybe this will be my gateway in. I don't know. But all these clowns in here watching a big clown streamer. How the hell did the algorithm pop this up in my inbox? I just want to watch space documentaries. Thank you, Bob the Builder. Appreciate you, dog. Space documentaries. Artemis 2. Go check him out, man. I sent an email 2 days ago. Thumbnail redesign. Didn't check it yet. I'll take a look at that. Was that the AI generated thumbnail with Nano Banana 2? Was that the one? Appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Same thing. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I think if that's the same one we're talking about, yeah, I think I took a look at it. Inbox gets crazy sometimes. Yeah, I would just say, let me take a look at it again. If I'm remembering the right one, it kind of seemed a little AI-ish. Maybe not my style. What else we got here? Showed you the video game, talked to you about that skill, talked to you about some of these other pieces that I've been messing with. I mean, some of the other ways, I'm just gonna spitball a couple other ways because I tried to package this stream in here, like how it could help. I think the other things are mainly, I mean, again, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like a constant proponent of just like using my voice for everything. And I don't know if everybody else resonates with that, but like a constant proponent of using your voice any way you can. So for instance, I hate dealing with my CRM, which is closed CRM. So I went into Claude and I created I went into Claude and I created, or I didn't create it. I just hooked it up to the MCP, which people hate MCP, but I don't really fully understand exactly why. Like it's probably not great in all cases because like it's kind of like another thing that they have to manage, and I guess maybe sometimes it sucks or errors or something. But it's like if you can connect shit, so you can like because if there's an internal agent in the tool that you're using, maybe you try that. But if there's not an internal agent in there already and you can connect it via some sort of Claude or ChatGPT or whatever, then you can just control anything with prompting, potentially, depending on if there's things exposed, or you can use, like me, you can even use your voice to just like, again, it's not really utilizing your voice, you're just inputting the text with your voice. But that's why like it's pretty incredible. I'm trying to think of some other things. Obviously my automation, like my video automation thing. But yeah, a couple other things. Why just not use Webflow? For what part specifically? Are we talking about for, why just not use, let's compare Claude, Astro versus Webflow for marketing website. I've never used Webflow. I've heard about Webflow. Do you use Webflow? Can you just talk to it and tell it to build a website and like do exactly what you want? Maybe. I mean, I'm not here to convince you to not use Webflow if you love Webflow. I'm just here to tell you exactly what's been working for me and is really good. And honestly, I don't know if it's cheaper, but I'm not gonna make a cheaper claim. But like I'm trying to think of the costs associated with it too. But I don't know how you run your business. I don't know if you're handing your websites off to customers. I don't know if you're managing them. I don't know if you're whatever, you know? So, yeah, not sure. Depends. I haven't used Webflow, like I said, though. If you give me some specific, questions or some specific stuff there, that would be helpful. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. All right. Honestly, I think I'm going to probably wrap it up. I have to go do some work. I have to get I'm doing some additional stuff for that insurance website, as well as I got to deal with the real estate question that I've been talking about here a lot to kind of see if we have some stuff going on there. And I have obviously work on the video game on the side project, but more stuff like this in Modern Builder Society. If you want to join there, links in the description. That full 9-hour video of the insurance build is in there right now. The WordPress AI agency course is in there. We're having conversations. We have bi-weekly meetings, bi-weekly office hours where we kind of, talk about what's going on and kind of navigate and talk to everyone. You also get 50% off advisory calls if you're in Modern Builder Society. So a lot of perks. If you're a business owner watching this and you want to do more things you want to have more things done for you instead of like learn how to do them yourself, marksemansky.co. Click the work with me button. We can chat there. But appreciate all the great engagement, everything on this. Thank you guys so much. It's been a great chat. I got to get back to work, make some more videos. Appreciate y'all. And we'll talk to you very soon.